Hey, this is Lance Canfield, Canfield Bikes, and today we're going to be rebuilding the Crampon Mountain Pedals, and I'm going to tear them apart and put them back together and show you exactly how to do it. All right, we've got our mountain pedal, and we're going to start by just removing this little end cap here. It's just a cover. It doesn't really do anything except for keep junk out of your pedal. So now that that's removed, we're going to take our thin wall socket here and put it in there, and an 8mm on the other end, and we're going to remove it. This is the right side, so you want to go clockwise to remove the nut on the right side pedal and counterclockwise on the left pedal. So you can see we have a little washer here and a nut that just came out in our tool, okay? And now we can slide the spindle out, and there's a little washer right here, and then we have 3 sealed bearings inside this little housing right here. A lot of times you can just tap them out. Sometimes they don't tap out. So you just want to slide something through, give them a little tap, see if you can force them out of there. All three bearings just came out. So now, if it's dirty inside, which it shouldn't be, it's not inside these, even though these have never been rebuilt ever, completely haggard. Just give it a little cleanup. Make sure you're not putting dirt back inside as you're getting ready to rebuild these things. So I'm going to give it a double clean here. You can go as crazy as you want on cleaning these out, but for me it looks like it's got some used grease inside, but it doesn't look super contaminated. So I'm just going to clean this up. All right, so now we have our pedal, our spindle, and all of these little pieces and parts. I'm going to get rid of these because we don't need any of that stuff. That is part of our rebuild kit. Here's our new rebuild kit. Okay. Whole bunch of little pieces and parts. So we have 3 bearings per side, and a washer, and our little seal. And we have an IGUS bushing. We're going to deal with that here in just a second. A little nut, and our little cap that we removed at the very beginning. So we have 2 nylock nuts here. One has a white and one has a black insert. So the white one goes on the right side pedal, and that's what we're working on right now. You can see the crampon, and when you look down on the pedal, that's going to read to the right. So that's our white little nut right there. It's going to fit on this spindle. So let's remove this little IGUS bushing. Sorry, it's a DU bushing. It's a steel-backed, Teflon-lined DU bushing. And this thing goes right inside this housing right here, right there. And so I went down to the hardware store. I grabbed this big 1/2-inch lag bolt for about 69 cents. So what I'm going to do is just kind of ram this little sucker in there. A lot of times you can just yank it right out. Like, it starts to cut into it. So I'm going to grab pliers here and see if I can get this to just pop out. A lot of times they just slide right out. Let's see, did it come out? No. Let's try again. It definitely was cutting into it though. So, cut into it a little bit more. Give it a little yank. Sometimes these are kind of hard to get out, but it's a press fit. It's press fit in there, so just keep on working it out of there. All right, what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a hammer. Maybe not, let's try this first. Probably gonna cut some of this out of the video because it's stupid, but alright, just needs a little pressure. A lot of times a friend can help with that. Just give it a yank. And there it goes. Okay, so there's your bushing right there. That's how videos on the fly work, just like that. All right, so this is our new one. The way I like to do it is just slide it onto the spindle. And then to get it in there, I don't have a hammer. Let me grab a hammer. So spindle, bushing, we're just going to slide it on there. Give it a little tap. That's it. Boom, right inside. Super happy. So we're going to take our little washer, slide that on here. We're going to put some grease inside of here because we're basically ready to start loading bearings inside. And I like to just slide the spindle in there first, kind of just part way, and then as I start to load the bearings in here, you're just going to want to drop them in. Just be careful getting them in there. They just, sometimes the beat up end kind of inhibits them sliding right in, but they'll slide in there. Just going to use our tool. You know, another way you can kind of deal with it is just using the spindle as well from the opposite side here. Push them down in there. They just like to hold on to the spindle. There we go. Okay, so the next part is this little washer here. You can see there's a step on one side. The other side is smooth. You want to put that step down toward the bearing. Use the pick to make sure it sits where it's supposed to. Okay. Now I'm going to slide my spindle in there. Make sure nothing comes flying out the other side. So all that grease that I put in there is just basically pressuring inside. There's a small cavity all the way through. So if you feel that cavity full of grease completely, it's not going to allow any water or dirt or anything to go inside. Okay, so we have our washer in there. We have our nut that's for the correct side. We're on the right side, so it has the white nylock. We're gonna just slide this in here and start tightening it down. So this is the right side, so we're gonna go left to tighten. That grease is gonna kind of push against you being able to tighten this down, so you just kind of squish it in there. I can feel the spindle starting to spin. So now I'm just going to tighten this down. And the hot setup is to tighten this down as far as you can. Then we're going to back it off just a tiny, tighten it all the way down, tighten it, undo it just a tiny bit. A lot of times you can tighten it completely and it'll still spin pretty good. But if you undo it just the tiniest little bit, they tend to spin just a little bit better. All right, so basically we have got the whole internals done now. Everything's spinning good. We're not loose side to side. And we're going to take our little cap cover here that just keeps all the dirt and garbage out of there. We're going to put this in here. So a lot of times, because this is so beat up here, this is a little tricky to get the threads started. But this one feels like it's gonna go. So this is a replaceable part. Yep, there it goes. We're just gonna thread this in. Now this is just a cover to keep dirt out. So we're gonna thread this in until it goes just below flush or just flush. We don't need that tight. We don't want it to interfere with the pedal being able to spin. So that's pretty much it. You've got a rebuilt pedal, and I hope that helped. And give us a shout if you have any questions. Hi, I hope that video was helpful, and I hope it allows you to rebuild your pedals on your own. And if not, if you don't feel comfortable doing that, let us know. Shoot us an email, give us a call, click on the link below and let us know, and we can take those pedals, we can rebuild them for you and send them back, and you'll have a set of pedals that feel like brand new. Thanks again.